Hi. Oh man. Well, this is gonna be my really crappy cell phone video of what's going on. Um, so my husband is in the hospital right now fighting for his life. He has AML, leukemia, and yesterday we got the news that the first round of chemotherapy didn't work. And this is obviously in the middle of this pandemic that this is going on, and it really sucks. Um, I guess I just wanted to talk about how I'm feeling at this point. He went into the hospital 3 weeks ago, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been super ridiculously hard. Um, my husband's been my best friend for the longest time. And, it's just been the two of us. We live here and, our home. And um, we've been on extreme lockdown here in our state. And just, it's just a horrible time. And not that there's ever a good time for this, but it's definitely a horrible time right now with the pandemic on top of everything. Because I'd not been able to see him at all. Um, Finally, yesterday, for the first time in 3 weeks, I was able to go see him, and I will never in my life forget that moment when I got to hold him and hug him. Couldn't kiss him, but I could hold him and hug him after I scrubbed down. But oh man, that was and will for always be the definition of a bittersweet moment. This has been incredibly hard. Um, but I kind of wanted to talk about how I'm feeling right now because I'm feeling like it's cancer is an incredibly isolating thing for somebody to go through or a family to go through. I mean, it's not just, obviously my husband is getting the worst of this. I am 1000% aware of that. And I love him to death, and he's just an incredibly strong, brilliant, and beautiful human being. And obviously, I want the best for him. And he's definitely getting this the worst, but it's surprising how in 3 weeks, everything just looks so different in this world. Everything. This has been an absolutely life changing event. And just I don't know. I was just I'm in this group chat right now, and I mean everybody's very sweet and kind and um supportive, but just hearing, you know, other people talk about mundane things or silly things they saw on the internet right now, it's hard because I feel so isolated from everybody because you really don't know what this is like until you go through it. You have no idea unless you've gone through this or something like this. And it's been one hell of an emotional roller coaster. And just I don't know, really lonely. and really hard. Um, my heart breaks for everybody who's ever gone through this. And I mean, especially at this time right now, anybody who has a family member in the hospital right now and you can't go see them, I'm right there with you, and I'm just so freaking sorry. I am so sorry you can't see your loved ones. That is the hardest thing right now, is just not having that human connection. And if you are in the hospital right now, just hold on. Everybody on the outside is rooting for you. Your family, your friends, just feel the love. I mean, that's another, that I guess that's a positive side of what's going on right now in the world with the pandemic is I feel like not everybody, but some people, if not most people, are becoming more supportive and more willing to be a part of a community and help each other out and, just be there for one another. I had a conversation with my neighbor today that was longer than any conversation I've ever had with her. That's my cat. Like I said, crappy. And she's just knocking things over. That's okay. Um, just really crappy time for everybody, but just the community and how the world is changing, it could potentially be for the better. It could also potentially be for the worse. I know, like, so, um, I know here, I live in Michigan. I know here, um, the riots and crap and not riots, the protests in Lansing. I mean, come on, guys. You are the reason I can't go see my husband right now. So thank you for that. If you're one of those assholes who are doing that, thank you. Because you are the reason I can't go see my husband right now. Because you and your ignorant antics are making the situation way worse. If everybody would just, take part and participate like they're supposed to, this wouldn't be as big of an issue. But I probably feel so isolated because I am. I've been in quarantine myself. I took my husband into the hospital 3 weeks ago. I have not been out to a store once. Um, I've been trying to stay absolutely as safe as I possibly can and, try to create an environment where he can actually come home and, be safe. And it's really hard right now to feel safe. So then, also preventatively, I've followed the, you know, state regulations of staying away, not going places, not seeing friends and family. I've kept that to the bare minimum, even with my own personal life crisis going on. I've done my best to participate in that. So for all of you people who are still throwing parties or, just socializing with your friends for fun, you can go right ahead and go fuck yourself. because if I'm not going to see friends and family right now, you shouldn't be. I have every reason to go do that right now, but I'm doing my damnedest not to. Um just I'm going through this mix of emotions where it's like one minute I'm so angry about some things, and the next minute it's like I don't even care anymore. I don't care. I only care about my husband right now and his well-being. That's all I care about. Um and I have a short fuse for like ignorance and petty shit. Petty shit. Like, um, I don't know. My grandma was telling me a story today about how her family, like, they used to fight over stupid things that would happen. Like, for someone said something dumb at Christmas, so then somebody just decided to not talk to that person for years. Like, what the fuck? I mean, come on now. That's so stupid. And you don't realize how stupid some of these things that you get angry about are until you're faced with a life or death crisis situation with a loved one. Like, I mean, even going back in my own relationship with my husband, it's like we used to stress out about money, we used to stress out about all sorts of things. We'd get into stupid fights over, like, I don't know, like, he'd get mad that I didn't clean the kitchen knives or something after I used them, or just, I don't know, just stupid stuff. And it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we picking fights with these people? I mean, you'll look back, if you're ever faced with a situation like this, you will look back and say, why did I do that? Why did I spend so much time fighting with people? Why did I spend so much time worrying about shit that really doesn't freaking matter? Why? Why did I do that? And, it's just, it's like you got to come to terms with what is really important in life. And for me, what is really important in life is the relationships that I have with my friends and my family and my sweet, sweet animals. And most importantly, my beloved husband, who I miss dearly. And I'm praying that he pulls through. Um, the first round of chemo failed, and so we're on our second round, and we're really, really, really hopeful that this works. Um, to anybody who actually watches this, please, 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 I encourage you to at least check this out. There's a website, it's called bethematch.com. And like I used to be afraid of needles, like horribly afraid of needles. I had a horrible experience as a kid with a bad doctor who, like, went to take blood, and then, like, I got blood squirted all over me. It was a horror story. Yes, it was as bad as it sounds. I was wearing a white shirt and everything. So that freaked me out with needles, like, for the rest of my life. But let me say this. Bethematch.com, or not .com, .org, I'm sorry. Bethematch.org. That is a website to where you can become a donor, a bone marrow donor. And my husband is really fortunate right now to have found a few matches for him, but not everybody is like that. There are some people, some families who go through this hell, and this is hell, that go through this and they do not have a match. They don't have a match in the system. So that's basically telling them you need this bone marrow transplant, but there's no one to get it from. I mean, normally when people need a bone marrow transplant, their best option immediately would be a sibling, right? A full blood sibling. My husband is an only child, so that wasn't an option for us. And I am just so beyond thankful that some person is going to save his life. Because that's what it really is if you become a donor, you could save someone's life. You could change someone's life forever. And I'm just so thankful that, no matter what happens, that somebody out there is willing to do this for our family. I am not at this moment physically able to become a donor because of my BMI. But I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it in a heartbeat if I could. And when I finally, my weight's been a struggle for a long time, but when I finally lose the weight, I have every intention of doing that. I will definitely, I've never given blood because of, like I said, my fear of needles. I have absolutely every intention of donating blood when it's safe to do so. My husband has specifically asked me not to donate right now because I've voiced that I've wanted to, like, go out and try to find donation centers right now, but because of the pandemic and his extremely compromised immune system, I have to be extra careful to protect myself so when he does come home, I don't infect him with anything. So, again, like, if you're not interested in becoming a bone marrow donor, I have to thank everybody who's given blood to, because without your blood donations, my husband wouldn't be here right now. He's survived so far because of the blood transfusions that he's been able to receive and the platelets, and just if becoming a bone marrow donor seems too hard to agree to that, then please consider donating blood. I can't tell you how unbelievably grateful people are on the receiving end of this. Just I am so thankful for the good people in this world. I'm just so thankful for the good people in this world. Um, and I don't know. I really want you to know that if you do decide to check out bethematch.com, only, this is important, only 1 in 400 people are ever called to be a donor. So if you sign up to become a donor, um, that does not mean that you will automatically be picked to have to give a donation. Um, every single person, their bone marrow is like a fingerprint, and that fingerprint is unique to obviously each individual person. And the best they can do when they go to do a transplant for somebody is find somebody, if there's no siblings, is to find somebody with the closest identical fingerprint that they can. And my heart just breaks for, my heart absolutely breaks for everybody who finds out that there's no donors in the system for them. And my heart breaks for their families too. And I think as a society, we can do better than that. I can tell you the donation process for a person donating is not, it's not a cakewalk. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not a cakewalk from what it sounds like, but it also sounds like it's not that bad, especially when you consider your donation is saving somebody's life. And mind you, another thing to consider, if you are called on to be a donor, what you go through is nothing compared to what the cancer patient is going through. Like, you can do it. You're strong. You're obviously an absolutely amazing person, an amazing person. And just, I mean, not that this means anything, but if you go out there and you become a donor, um, you've got this almost middle-aged white lady cheering for you, saying, "Yay, good for you." You know, it's this has definitely been quite a journey, and a journey I've never thought that I'd be a part of. Um, I just want to do my part to try to make it better for the next person who has to walk a mile in my shoes, who has to go down this path and watch their loved one fight for their life and sit on the sidelines and feel like there's nothing you can do. There is something you can do. You can go out there, you can spread the message, you can, you know, encourage people to make blood donations and bone marrow donations, and to encourage people to, you know, be a good person, to help your neighbor, to love the people around you, and to stop making such a fucking big deal out of the little things in life. Because at the end of the day, they are little things in life. And I know a lot of people are going through a lot of shit right now, not collecting unemployment checks, not wondering where their wondering where their next meal's coming from, and wondering, when everything's going to go back to normal, when the stores are going to open back up, when the bars are going to open back up. And let me tell you, people, for if you're one of those people, take a second and just be thankful that you are fine, that your family is fine, and everything that is important to you, really important to you, is okay. Everything is okay. These are all little minor problems that in 5 years are not going to matter anymore. If you can say, okay, is this going to be, am I still going to be upset about this 5 years from now? And the answer is no. Then you need to take a step back and try to work on that, because that's not going to get you anywhere. People say that, no matter your situation, it could always be worse. And that even resonates with me right now, because, like I said, there are people who go through this process and then do not have a donor at the end. My heart breaks for those people. And I don't know. I just hope if you're able to donate that you consider it. And if you see this for some reason, and this resonates with you in any way, I hope that at least it helps. I hope this helps somebody to see that things could always be worse. That I hope it helps you reflect on your own current situation and realize what you should be grateful for and what you should just let go, because it really doesn't matter in the long run. And, I hope that each and every one of you hug and love on the people you care about right now, because you really never know what'll happen tomorrow.